Good morning, ladies and gents. My name is Helzo, and boy, do I look hideous? Yeah, I do look hideous. Anyways, welcome to Discuss Things and to Coffee Thoughts, the show where I post all my brain thoughts from the morning. And I got a new one, and it's a big one. So now, this is something I really wanted to discuss with a few people, but those few people don't want to discuss it because I think they have been indoctrinated and into the Matrix. Cool. Alright, anyways, imagine the world. Every person there, every single one of you, me, and etc. etc. Just every guy, every girl. Alright, so if you watched the tendencies, how things are progressing since let's say 2005, 2006, you see an increase in riots, an increase in looking for your rights, for creating rights, for increasing your rights, for disobeying the system and everything. Basically, you see a little bit of mini rebellions all over the world. Now, I'm talking about developing countries, of course. I'm also talking about uh, fully developed countries. I'm talking about Middle Eastern countries, talking about Western countries, and all over the world you can see different people with different goals just rising up. Now, this is not something major. No, nothing that topples governments. At least in most cases, we had a few in the years, but that's not something abnormal, especially for those countries. But you see that in general, people are starting to fuck the system. Like they say, fuck this system, fuck this shit. I'm not going to live like this. I'm not going to be fucked over by certain people, and everybody is just getting angrier and angrier everywhere. The U.S., Canada, Britain, the whole other parts of Europe, Russia, everything. Especially Turkey. Like if you see Turkey now, you see secret rebellions trying to topple the government. Everything. What I'm trying to say, with these statements, with these increased rebellions, with these protests, with these movements, is that if you look at the world as every single person, if you look at them, they're like a sleeping lion that has been trampled over, that has been disturbed, that has been awakened slowly. And this kind of thing is actually good, very interesting to watch and very amazing because when you see people who don't take no shit anymore, and I'm sure you know such people because probably you don't take no shit no more, or you are about to because the government fucks you over in your country, or just a new law has been introduced to fuck you over even more than you can bear, because we all know governments fuck you over big time, but there's always a line that most governments don't cross. And when the government crosses that line, you see people genuinely rise up more than before, because we've seen controversial laws, we've seen controversial ideas, alliances, actions, military actions, trade actions, immigrant actions, to accept immigrants or to not accept immigrants, depending on which country or which side of the argument you are. In any case, people have started to generally to take less and less shit. So what does that mean? That means that in a good situation, people will awaken completely, like will decide that they're many, will find out that they're united through that anger, and will probably fix the damn system everywhere. They'll fix minimum wages around the different countries, they'll fix poverty, they'll fix homelessness through their own hands, not through the government's hands, because we know the government doesn't do a lot, or at least many of the governments. I'm talking about the government in my country and the government in the major countries. Now, I cannot speak for every country, but the majority is still fucked up. So, this is the best case scenario. People wake up, they'll succeed in basically making the government do what promises every term in every election, fixing poverty, fixing minimum wages, fixing everybody's lives, making everything great again, etc., 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 and never happening until the next election when another government or the same government says, oh, okay, this time we're gonna do it. So they're not, people are not going to take this shit anymore. They're gonna take matters into their own hands. There'll be a little rebellion, toppling the government or making the government an ultimatum that will serve the people, which is more peaceful and better. Now, the worst case scenario, which is actually happening, is that the governments are basically noticing this. They know what's going on and they know that the people are rising up. So they introduce even more controversial laws, ban protesting, ban certain kinds of protesting, ban certain actions of protesting. In my country, there was actually proposed a limit to how many people can protest and at a single protest. It was never passed, but it was going to pass if it had slipped. Luckily, that didn't happen. So, all these measures are to prevent people from revolting, and if you revolt, then the government has the excuse to use any means necessary, and I mean any means necessary, to fuck you over, to stop you, like the military, special forces. I've seen it in my country. They've used the army. They used water cannons. If you know what that is, it's pretty fucked up. So when you when you have the excuse, when you have the legal excuse to use those kind of weapons, they work surprisingly well at demotivating the rest of the people to search for what they're searching for, to look for their rights, to rebel, to be angry. Now, I don't know what's going to happen, and this video is not for me to motivate people to rebel while there's still time, or motivate them to stay home and think of a plan, or just conform to the new rules and everything. This video is just for me observing. Like, Coffee Thoughts has always been me observing things in the world, things on the internet, everywhere, and every significant thing, and just talking about it. So this is just a talk. Now, I would like, in my personal view, I would like to see some of the things fixed. I don't believe the government will fix them by themselves, so I think there needs to be a pressure from people in every government on the subjects that are quite bad, on the laws that are clearly controversial, on some of the things the government does in their country and outside, external politics, etc., etc. But this pressure needs to come from not a violent rebellion. I don't think that works anymore, because if it did, things would be a lot different and there would be a lot more anarchy. I think that the rebellion should simply be the decline, like the denial of work, like people just don't wanting to go to work, not wanting to conform to the new ideas. And when you don't have production, when imagine just a factory, imagine a factory that produces, let's say, bread, a bread factory, a major large fucking bread factory that produces bread for 2 or 3 regions of the said country. If that factory suddenly stops working, if all the workers just say fuck it and stop working, that factory will completely lose its productivity and 2 or 3 regions will be breadless. So that will be done because the workers in that factory are being mistreated. They have way too low wages, like lower wages. They don't get enough payment. They work over hours. They don't get paid for overtime, etc., etc. But there's nothing they can do. Like if they leave, the management will just hire someone else. So if all of the people unite and suddenly decide we're not going to work today, tomorrow, and the day after, management will quickly see how it loses the money, it loses everything, and will conform to the people. Now that's what you can do, because as a worker, as a person who does the things, you're not the boss, you're the person who does the work. So if you stop doing the work, and if a lot of people stop doing the work with you, then the management will just freak out. They cannot solve the situation in time, because if they fire you, they'll again need people to come, new people. They need to train them, they need to show them how it's done, and that will take time, and in this time there will be no productivity whatsoever. So this is the kind of rebellion I think should happen in the world, like just a total denial of work, a total sorry, I lost my line of thought. Just to search for rights by not doing what other people want you to do for the minimum wage, or for horrible working conditions that you're put in. That way you show them that you don't want to do that, and if you're alone, it will probably not work. You need to be, as a group, you need to be very a lot of people, angry people that work there at a certain place, and just to show the management that this is not how things are going to work. This is the kind of rebellion that can work on the job, in the country, and in the world. On those three scales, it can work in any level you can imagine, be it public transport, be it governmental, everything. You can do that in every situation. So this is the smart kind of protest that I think should happen. Now, I know that this wasn't very in line and wasn't very, but these are my first thoughts. If you're a newcomer to my series, you probably feel a little bit confused as to why I'm talking like this, why I'm sleepy, why I'm everything. That's because I just woke up with those thoughts in my head. They've been around for a few days, but nothing so concrete as to now. And I'm just trying to send them over a video to my channel. So this is what's happening. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed it. You probably didn't. And if you did, please leave a like button. If you have anything to add to those kind of comments on the several topics that I covered in this video, please do. I'll read it, of course, and I'll probably reply to you. I'll probably if it's a good, if it's a thoughtful comment with ideas or with something to debunk my line of thought, then I'll probably start a conversation with you. Not a violent one. Don't think that I'm just like fuck you, you're wrong. No, I'm just going to discuss things with you. Yeah, the pun is excellent, and that's it. Yeah, probably that's what's going to happen. So thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed it, please leave one like, please leave a comment. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And that's probably it. Thank you. Cheers. Have a nice day and stay fresh. See you next time.